Charlie, come tell us what the queen is up to.
Donna was very good at getting people to come out and speak. And at one of the meetings, she just pointed to me and said, we're doing this. What I want to talk about is what the queen's up to. Basically starting in go back to what we later, back in September, queen lays her winter fat bees. She lays them all the way up until say November. As the temperature drops, the bees will start to cluster, usually below 60 degrees. I'm not sure where I got 50. The cluster, they form a cluster, and it has a warm core and an outer core of insulating bees. So the bees in the middle are usually referred to as heaters. They can actually get up. Bees can actually bring the body temperature up to as high as 115 degrees, which is what they do when they boil the queen. They're not stinging her, they're heating her. The inner core stays at 65 to 85 degrees, unless it has, unless she's laying brood, in which case they bring it up to 90, 95 to keep the brood warm. The outer bees are at 50 to 55 degrees. They're just a insulating layer of bees tightly held together to form the outer mantle of the cluster. The bees on the outside act as a insulate. They reflect the heat back in, or they let excess heat out. They normally are. These are bees that are just on the edge of. They're in a torpid state. Their body temperature is so low that they're just barely alive. They will switch off between the heater bees and the insulating bees so that the outer bees can get warm. This is one way where you can look into the hive without going in. This is a attachment that will fit on the bottom of the smartphone, which converts your smartphone into an infrared camera. They're relatively inexpensive, from what I found out. They did run, they were about $178, which is relatively inexpensive. And it's good to be able to go out and you can quickly look and see what the core is, what the cluster looks like on all your frames. Because that picture there in the middle is a picture of the hive on the side.
How many people have these cameras?
Oh,
okay.
How many people have something cheaper? Because for like 2 hives, that would be a big investment.
It is a big investment.
Amazon has a hand. I just bought one for $109, and I can send a link if anybody's interested. I don't think it's the regular price. They just happen to have a sale, but I jumped on it when I saw it. It's just a handheld one, which I like because I refuse to be barehanded when I'm.
It's got a screen on it.
It's got a screen on it, yeah, and it's got a button that you can push. You can do it with gloves on. Yeah, it's just a cheaper version.
Take a picture too.
It does take a picture, and you can connect it to your computer. Yeah. 109, but not right now. I don't know. You got to catch it when it's on sale.
This is the FLIR version.
Yeah.
Manufacturer called FLIR. There are cheaper ones. I've seen them like down to 140. Yeah, you're right. They are expensive.
You can get a regular IR gun that shoots a laser beam on it for $15, $20.
Does that get in?
Yeah, but that doesn't
You
get
can't see it.
Yeah, I tried using one of those.
I've used it in the wintertime and I can see if they're up or down. You have to go all the way around your hive. You have to do it 4 times,
Okay.
but it's $15. Cheap.
I have
But
one.
you can't see it like that.
Right. That'll show you the size of the cluster.
Did have a question over. Tom,
Did somebody have a question?
Did you have a comment or a question?
I was just curious,
Oh.
so for this one, is there a sensor inside
No.
of the box that's communicating with the phone, or is that,
This little piece here actually plugs right into the bottom of your phone.
and then it sends
Now
into
your
the
camera
infrared?
is acts like an infrared camera.
So you just put that against the outside of the
You
hive?
just stand, just like, see the picture of the hive on the left?
Yep,
That's the same picture.
right, okay. Okay, I see. Okay, I thought there was something that maybe put in the
No.
hive.
That's these.
Okay.
These are a little, these are a more cheaper version. These are
Answering
called,
your question.
these are called brood minders. They are temperature sensors. They're thin, you take and break between the boxes and just slide them in. You have an app on your phone, the app will allow you to look at it online, read the temperature, it logs the temperatures. So you can look at trends and you can download it to watch how your bees are doing.
Put the whole thing in the hive or you leave the one part sticking
You leave this sticking out. And actually,
Put the whole thing.
yeah, the piece that you want is just this here. You could actually put that in the hive if you want. But this plastic protects it from getting all propolized up. And this allows you to just pop it and pull it out.
You have to change the battery about every year to
Yeah.
18 months.
Yeah, I mean, I have them in all my hives. They are about $40 a piece. Okay, so if you have 2 hives, it's $80, and it's about $80. And it's good. You can look and see that your hives are warm. You can just with your phone.
So, this is a nice to have, kind
Yes,
of a geek's approach to
yes, it
beekeeping.
is.
Okay.
This is pure.
But for the newbies,
This
it's
is
not
pure
a
geek.
must have.
Oh, no, this is not a must-have.
Okay.
This is, in the winter, you don't want to open your hive. If you have one of these in, you can tell that your hive is still alive. Okay. You can also use it to tell when your hive starts to lay, when the queen starts to lay. This is what you would get on it. You would get a trace. The green on the top one is actual winter time or outside air time. And the red is the temperature above the brood. The winter bees, when around September 19th, the temperature was fluctuating up and down, and then it kind of stabilized out. And that gray area is the brood zone. So when that stabilizes out, it means that there's brood there. They've warmed it up for the brood. So you can tell when the bees start raising brood. Just like on the overwintered ones, in your overwintered hive, on January 30th, bees started laying brood. What triggers the queen to lay?
Is that this year, Charlie?
The one up top is this year for my hive. The one at bottom is from broodminder.
It goes up to March.
What's the trigger? Tell, I don't know.
So the queen won't start laying unless there's enough of a population to keep the hive warm. And the thing that triggers it is pollen. If there's no pollen in the hive, she won't lay. So if you didn't pack your hive up for winter with enough pollen, she's going to wait until it starts coming in, which puts you 6 weeks behind. So she could actually start as early as December, late December. Or in this case, it was like January.
In a previous slide, did they say absolutely don't put pollen in the
I see that.
hive?
I wasn't sure what.
Yeah,
So if the
I'm
queen's
a little
laying-
confused.
So I was just thinking about that. So
Yeah.
Robin says don't put pollen in. So my question
Yeah.
I
is,
thought,
Not yet, not right now.
2 weeks.
if you put pollen in, you're just gonna have a hive beetle problem is what I'm thinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
But if you want her to start laying now, then what do you do if she's not laying and you don't have pollen in there? I mean, you're not gonna know unless you break it open if you've got pollen.
Well, you should. Oh God. No. The
I think in 2 weeks, you can start putting pollen.
And usually if I put pollen in, I put it on a little piece of mesh. It's raised off the bottom a little bit so that the bees can get under it, which keeps the hive beetles away. Because the hive beetles will grow and they'll tunnel underneath it and the bees can't get to them. And then all of a sudden, all the little maggots show up.
And maybe a partial pollen patty, not.
Yeah, you don't want to put a big patty in there either. Like, so, the thing to take away is in the winter or in the fall, make sure that you supply, you have a strong population in your hive. If you have a small hive, merge it with another hive, either two small hives or into another hive, so that you have plenty of bees to keep the hive warm. You also, go ahead.
Since you're the queen guy, let's say you have two small hives and they both have a queen.
Yeah.
How do you decide which queen to kill? Just put them both in there and let them duke it out? Set up a window and watch? I mean, like, seriously, these are my questions.
I would have to do that.
Yasmin's laughing at me.
Go ahead.
What would anybody do?
You pick.
I would pick.
Yes.
Flip a coin.
So you're gonna leave it up to me? Wouldn't they know better?
No, I mean, if you're always going to decide which one, and that's based on your experience. You know that hive.
Yasmin's like, don't leave it up to her.
Which one stung you the most?
Yeah.
Off with her head.
No queen stick. Well, if the queen sticks, she's dead, right?
No.
She can still live.
The queen can sting as many times as she wants. Yeah.
I was just curious, the combined question.
So the point is that if you don't supply them with pollen in the fall, you're going to have a late spring brood. It's kind of just any
Do you want to talk about how to feed? Do you do the bucket outside of the apiary with the pollen, the powdered pollen?
I don't know.
That's something that's kind of related. So I put when you took the picture with the FLIR,
Yeah.
You didn't have insulation on there.
Well,
And then
actually, I did.
oh, you did. Okay.
Put the other picture back up. If you look at the hive there, that's not a FLIR picture.
Right.
See the foam there?
Yeah.
That foam I moved out of the way to get a clearer picture. I
Gotcha.
put it back on when I was done.
Okay.
And I just insulate, I do 3 sides of insulation and just one side I just do with bar paper and face the sun.
Okay.
Just so that they can get a little warm from the sun and still maintain some heat with the insulation.
And then with the insulation is on a warm day, like last week we had some warm days.
Mhm.
Is it going to be too warm?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff.
The 39.2 there, is that
I-
the temperature in the box?
That's just, that, I don't know whether that could be Celsius. No, that's
You're outside. That's Celsius. That 39.2 is the temperature right there.
On the outside?
Yeah, it's the outside. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't tell you what the temperature is in the inside, but it can say that this section is hotter than this section.
So the FLIR can't really tell you anything about the exact temperature in the top box, and when they start laying in there, the FLIR doesn't really help you with that, it just tells you.
It'll tell you where the cluster is, but it won't
But
tell
not-
you, yeah,
It flares a brand, not a.
Yeah,
Clear's brand,
clear as a brand.
the best brand.
Question about that strip thing. Do you leave that in
Yeah.
like all year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use it all year.
I wasn't sure if it was something you like slide in to use or if you just put it there and then it lives there.
Slide it in and you leave them in. And the batteries will last at least a year.
Okay, cool.
So once a year you change out the battery. It's just a little point battery.
I do the 3 sides. Like your hives are supposed to be facing southwest. So when the sun comes up, you should get all day sun. Now, I leave 3 sides cut. The front I don't cover that at all because you want maximum absorption rate in the winter. So that things stay warm. But I don't cover the front, I'm doing 3 sides. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah,
it's just what I do.
the reason I use the tar
You
paper,
can do that.
the tar paper warms up.
Yeah,
It warms up better than the wood would, so.
remember the R value of 1/2 inch pine, and it was really good.
Oh, it looks like good beekeeping weather there.
That was the backyard.